obviously, if there was a kid present, I didn't want to insult the Wayne.
That's a bit inappropriate, to be honest with you.
Insult the Wayne.
I didn't want to start shouting at his dad, you know what I mean? But,
I seen him up the town about this time last year. He was wearing a large knitted, what do you call it, turtleneck, a grey turtleneck jumper. And I thought, terrific jumper, terrific hair. Shame about the talent, you know.
Sorry, the tweet that you sent me was from Celtic Ambassador at BarneyBoy76. Geez, what a positive bunch at 90 Minute Cynic. New Year's resolution, never to listen to it again. Well, terrific stuff. God bless you.
It should be out tomorrow. So.
I've never listened to it and I'm on it, so keep dreaming about it.
Can you blame him? Can you blame him? We're slightly better than Radio Clyde, but come on, man.
I don't know if we are slightly better. At Comiskey90, Mick sent us a thing, and it was basically, this was the other day, it was about Sutton being bankrupt, and he asks, is this maybe why he slates Celtic so much? Because it's easy money slagging Celtic in the papers. I think we kind of picked up on that.
I think that's a career move for a lot of guys. I mean, it's dead easy to slag Celtic and money from
didn't it say a lot, though, the fact that these guys who've, like, Sutton obviously played for Chelsea, played in the Premier League, and that's held up as the best league in the world. He's got experience of it, he's played there, and yet he will make his money if he comes up here and slags off Celtic. He'd make money doing that. He wouldn't make money if he was down south talking about English football. That says it all.
I mean, I feel like, it's funny because we're slagging off fucking like the Scottish punditry, and we're right to. But some of the English stuff is dreadful. See
Michael Owen. Michael Owen is the worst. For a guy who was a good football player, he doesn't have a clue.
European Footballer of the Year.
Aye, did I?
The one when he was at Real Madrid. I mean, that's...
He was a great player, and his gran was from the Parkhead area.
His gran lived across the road. My mum works with his auntie in the geriatric unit at the Vicky Victoria Infirmary.
There you go.
What's her name?
Don't know. I was going to try and say something.
Big shout out to Auntie Owen.
Okay, so we've got a few questions, so let's get involved with these. I'm going to give one each to the Cynics. So I'll go to Franz first, then Chris, then Louis. Okay, so first question. Oh, okay. Transfer targets. Who, and you know what, I'll actually, because there's plenty of questions, so I'll open this up to everybody first. Transfer targets. Mix and Max, already mentioned in the press. Max would be the American fella.
I don't know who.
Yeah, Michael Chapman, who done terrific work for the Cynic, he mentioned him. He seems to rate him as a good player, and he worked with Deila before. But this is from at Napoleon_Celtic. Who realistically can we get in at centre half? An old hand, perhaps.
I said this a couple of weeks ago. That I think we need more experience.
Do you have any names? And we can come back to that if you want, because
I watched Van Dijk against Dundee United, I thought it was very lethargic. To me, at times it looked as if he didn't really want to.
He doesn't give he's not very good as well.
Don't start Gallagher.
No.
Van Dijk.
No. Not very good.
I think you need an experienced head to tell him to move his fucking
that's what I said a couple of weeks ago, because
he's a good player.
I genuinely think, especially at centre half, which is so such an important position. See, if you were to sell Van Dijk, this is what I said: sell Van Dijk, get whatever money. It's not going to be 10 million, never in a month of Sundays, but get some money.
The Sky Sports News, it was the app. At least it was 20 million to Arsenal the other day.
It's just ridiculous. But anyway, get the money for him, whatever it's going to be, and get someone experienced in there. Maybe have Denier for another year, because you could say, look, we've got this guy sitting beside him. He's going to be the both of them are going to be first pick every week. Give us him for another year, or have O'Connell or someone else that will learn from him. I don't know who said guy is, but someone with a bit of experience. And you have to forgo things like pace and whether the guy's going to actually be able to play from the back. And that doesn't always have to be the case. I would like my defenders to defend, first of all. I was watching a thing, and I don't know if any of you've seen it. It was on Sky, but I got it on the catch-up, so you'll be able to get it. But it's... It's Letizia.
Fantasy football thing?
Aye, the fantasy football thing. Charlie Nicholas, guy who played for Liverpool.
Lots of guys.
Thompson. Phil Thompson. And Merson. Paul Merson.
He's another tip.
Right.
I
Now,
quite like him,
whatever you think about those individuals, right, obviously they've all got a lot of experience. They were picking their all-time Premiership or Premier League 11, right, going through it, every position, and it was quite interesting. And for me, that kind of brought up a few things, like, for example, having experience in there and especially in defence. I mean, I think their defence was Tony Adams and John Terry for all-time Premier League. But I think experience is important, and I think it's something that Celtic possibly don't have, especially at defence. I don't think there really is anybody. But we could do with having a proper leader there, I think.
Dickie Dunn?
No.
It was a joke.
Thank fuck it was a joke, because I was ready to fucking thingy. Jonas Olsson from West Brom. He's 31, Swedish. I think he's a really good player.
He's fucking... Do you know what?
Where is he on the list? Most importantly.
Oh, terrific. He's getting it.
See if he's ahead of Larson.
It's fucking depressing. Right, guy with experience, he's 31. I'm fucking 31.
I know.
It's like...
This is about your
old cunts that play football are the same age as me.
This is about your life, though, right?
But you're not 32.
Fuck you.
Get it up, yeah.
Again, I know you don't necessarily agree. I like Russell Martin as a player. I think Russell Martin plays better at a higher level. That's just maybe I'm a bit of favouritism there, but I think Martin would be a good player for Celtic with an old head, because Martin's only 26.
I'm trying to think if there's any Scottish-based...
The Scottish Premier League is poor in terms of defenders.
And midfielders.
Fuck you,
and
strikers. Suck a dick.
Keepers? No, great keepers. All great keepers.
If we're in the market for a keeper, we're staying home bred. But, no, like... There must be guys in Italy. Do you know any guys in Italy? Any Italian centre-halves?
Get your phone out.
Get Bergami. Bergami's what? Only like 50 now.
Bergami,
get him out of retirement.
Is there... I don't know. No, I can't think of anyone. Nobody... See, that's the thing.
We need a guy...
See, these days... No, sorry, Lou. See, these days, you used to be able to have transfer targets in your mind for Celtic, and you'd think we'd be able to get this guy, we'd be able to get that guy. Weeks and weeks ago, somebody mentioned Matty Fernandez... Maybe would have come from Fiorentina to say, what the fuck, man? I mean, who from Serie A would come and play for Celtic?
Paulo Di Canio.
No.
Well, see...
I mean, left Benfica as well.
Sorry?
He's only just left Benfica at the end of the season.
I think the guy was saying...
Fernandez?
I think the guy was... The point was... And I think it was Ginty, I think, that said it. And it was...
Ginty?
No, it's... fuck you. I think his point was, could we get him for 6 months... Loan.
No. What I'm saying is, right, I don't want to slag Ginty because it's not like a player like that should, it used to be above it. How am I trying to say this? At one point, a player like that might not have been above our station, but now who is going to leave Serie A to come to Celtic because we can't pay a lot of money? Not only can we not pay a lot of money, but the standard of football is going to be better there.
See, in the topic of defenders, right, one of the other things that on that show on Sky that was brought up, they put Gary Neville at right back.
Terrific right back.
Quality
and
back.
The reason why they picked Gary Neville, one of the main reasons, was because they said that as a full-back, he was a better defender than he was attacker. He could still attack, but he was a better defender. And they said, how many of the Premier League full-backs now could you say were better at their defensive role than they were attacking? And I think that's something with Celtic. Is Aguirre better going forward than he is defensively? Lustig, okay, he's pretty balanced in both. Matthews, better going forward than he is defensively.
Matthews is dreadful forward and back just now.
Van Dijk loves to go a wander.
Can he mark a man in the box?
I've told you, Bugera. No. He is Bugera Mark II, but is he as good a defender as he is when he wants to go on his stupid runs up the pitch? He's not. And that's why I think we should have someone experienced, whether that's 31 or whatever, someone with experience who is their prime role is to defend, and that's what they do. We don't need a guy who's going to start doing...
Does he need to be 31?
No.
Gary Neville could do
it. Could be right fucked and be 32, you know.
And I don't want to go down the Mestorovic route. Remember him?
He was a fucking disaster.
He was awful.
He was terrible.
But that's almost what he was like, because he had all this experience.
He ticked every box, didn't he?
Aye.
He ticked every box. A regular Swedish international.
Bald.
Massive, bald. He looked fearsome. But he was shite.
Do you know another one? I'll mention another one who I was
good when he first came, though. First couple of games.
Remember fucking... Dirk Boerechter's first 50 minutes.
20 minutes actually was sensational.
Yeah, Chris, pause and play the song right now.
Okay.
You didn't have to pause, you just had to leave a gap.
I did leave a gap, you dick. Anyway, so the point I was going to make, I'm going to leave that in as well. The point I was going to make is one who, I don't know, we're kind of all over the place with this, but who cares? We're having fun, it's the festive period. Stephen Henshaw. How it didn't work out for him at Celtic Park, I will never know, because I loved him. I thought he was brilliant at Liverpool. I thought he was a terrific player. But then he played, Martin O'Neill went from playing 3-5-2, and then he went to 4 at the back for about 3 or 4 years. And then when they brought Henshaw in, they went to 3 at the back. And I was at the game against Hearts when we got fucking dominated by Liam Miller and Mark Butchell up front. And they absolutely fucking annihilated us. And Henshaw was part of a defensive 3, and I don't think he played again after that. It was almost like, right, here you go, 2 or 3 games and then fucking done.
I remember he had him out wide a few times.
That's what I mean. So he was the right hand side of the 3. So he's one of the, you've got the spare man and the 2 markers. But Liam Miller and Mark Butchell, to be fair, did
Liam Miller play for Hearts?
Aye, that was the front line.
I remember Butchell there, but
Liam Miller and Butchell, honestly, because they were fucking.
Liam Miller was at Hibs, was he not?
I'm talking about not Miller, the striker who's now at Carlisle. I'm not talking about Liam Miller who used to play for Celtic. It might not be. His first name might not be Liam.
Second name might not be Miller.
Suck a dick. It is. Talk amongst yourselves.
Charlie Miller. Ben Miller. Andrew Miller.
No, it was Lee Miller.
Lee Miller?
No, it's Lee Miller, you're right.
Lee
Miller. At Aberdeen as well.
Not Liam Miller.
Did I say Liam Miller? Yeah. Right, okay, well, that's as much your mistake as mine, to be honest.
But no, Lee Miller, aye.
Lee Miller, sorry, I apologise for that. Played for Dundee United as well. So Lee Miller and Mark Butchell. Anyway, the point is, I think you make a very good one with that, Chris. The question was, transfer targets, realistically, can we get? It's hard because football has changed in such a small period of time in terms of... When I say a small period of time, I maybe mean maybe 2005, we'd be looking at players who would be playing mid-Premier League teams, mid-Premier League players.
I think...
Now we can't get anyone, and that's not Celtic's fault. That's English football's fault, and that's the fault of the Abu Dhabi conglomerates buying clubs and putting in 50 billion quid.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Because teams in Serie A, you know this yourself because you're a Serie A fan, clubs in Serie A can't compete with fucking English teams.
The only team in Serie A who've got any level of money is Juventus, really. I mean...
and they are still not at the height in terms of the top table.
No.
They're not...
You could I mean, it's well documented that I don't like Juventus, but... You could legitimately class Juventus as certainly a top 8 club in terms of they'll regularly get to the quarters of the Champions League. They'll not get any further than that, and they're far and away the biggest club in terms of European stature just now in Italy. I mean, even AC Milan, I mean, they're in the doldrums just now. They don't look as if they're going to have the finances because obviously Berlusconi was their sugar daddy and he's currently doing community service in an old folks home. You've got Thohir.
McCoist working next to him for...
Aye, he's learning the ropes there. He's just a rookie, McCoist, so he needs to get about a...
50-year-old rookie.
Get a wee bit of experience behind him. Thohir, he's the Eric Thohier, is it in